Thai BL has taken the world by storm. But behind every unforgettable scene, every tear-jerking moment, every heart-racing kiss, stands an actor who poured his soul into the screen. These are not just performances. They're raw emotion, unspoken pain, real love brought to life. In this video, I'm counting down my top 10 Thai BL actors. The ones who didn't just act, they devoured their roles, owned the spotlight, and stole our hearts forever. From the tortured lovers who bled intensity, to the sunshine boys who melted us with just a smile, to the magnetic forces that made you believe in love again, I'm diving deep into their best dramas, the roles that changed the game, and the moments that made history. So buckle up, because this isn't just a list. This is a love letter to the legends, the icons, the kings of Thai BL. 1. Joss Wayar. His best drama, My Golden Blood. Let's talk about a pairing that redefined the supernatural BL genre with raw magnetism, dangerous attraction, and a chemistry so potent it burned through the screen. Joss Wayar was unreal. In My Golden Blood, Joss wasn't just acting. He was devouring the role, bringing an almost predatory intensity to every glance, every word. There was a darkness in his portrayal, a beautiful menace that made you feel like he could kiss you or kill you in the same breath. And Gawin? That man met every ounce of Joss's intensity with equal fire, vulnerability, and emotional depth. Together, they didn't just perform, they collided. Their chemistry was like a ticking time bomb. Volatile, electric, inescapable. Every scene between them felt like a battle between desire and danger, seduction and survival. You held your breath, not knowing whether the next move would be a declaration of love or a betrayal drenched in blood. And the plot, the gothic fantasy elements, the mythological twists, the morally gray decisions, everything was heightened by their performances. Joss Wayar turned a vampire fantasy into a tragic, beautiful, chaotic love story that sank its teeth into your soul and refused to let go. It wasn't just a series, it was an experience. A fever dream. A high-stakes romance laced with blood, lust, and longing. My Golden Blood wasn't just Joss's best. It was a showcase of his evolution as an actor. And paired with Gawin, they became dangerously iconic. Unforgettable, undeniable, unholy perfection. 2. Jung Archen. His best drama, The Heart Killers. Jung Archen didn't just act in The Heart Killers. He devoured that role. This wasn't a performance, it was a possession. From the very first frame, he exuded a kind of quiet menace, seductive charm, and wounded intensity that dragged you into his twisted world and refused to let go. Every glance was layered with secrets. Every smirk, a blade hidden behind a smile. Jung's portrayal was hauntingly beautiful. He danced on the edge of madness and vulnerability like a man walking a tightrope over fire. There were scenes where he didn't have to say a word, just a stare, just a slow breath, and you felt it in your bones. You could practically taste his inner turmoil, his desperation, his obsession. It wasn't just about being a killer. It was about how far love, pain, and betrayal could drive someone. And Jung delivered all of it with such raw, visceral energy that it was hard to look away. You didn't know whether to fear him, love him, or pity him. And let's not even talk about the chemistry, because it was lethal. Every encounter, every stolen glance, every unspoken tension with his co-star felt like a spark meeting gasoline. Jung turned seduction into an art form and emotional breakdowns into poetry. It was intense, addictive, and downright unforgettable. This wasn't just Jung's best role, this was his reign. He owned the Heart Killers, body and soul. It proved that he's not just a pretty face in the BL world, he's a force of nature. A storm dressed in silk. A man who can kill you with a kiss and make you beg for more. A masterpiece of performance. Jung Archen was on fire, and we all got burned. 3. Deu Phanuphat. His best drama, Century of Love. Let's talk about Deu Phanuphat, the unexpected storm that shook us to our emotional core. And in Century of Love, he didn't just act, he transcended. This wasn't just a role for him. It felt like he bled, breathed, and lived through every frame. You could feel it in the way his eyes held pain, longing, and hope all at once. Like a man grasping for something already slipping through his fingers. Century of Love wasn't your typical love story. It was heartbreak dressed in elegance. It was soft gazes that turned into shattered glances. And Deu, he was the heartbeat of it all. He gave us a character that felt so real, so fragile yet strong, so desperate for love but terrified to lose it. His performance was layered, sometimes hauntingly quiet, other times explosively raw. Every line he delivered carried weight. Every silence screamed louder than words. There were moments where the camera lingered on him just a few seconds longer. And in that stillness, he told an entire story with just his eyes. You could see the internal war, the desperation to hold on, the pain of betrayal, and the quiet resolve to endure. His chemistry with the lead was magnetic, not in an obvious, flashy way, but in a way that ached. It was tension. It was unresolved feelings. It was love that didn't know if it could survive the chaos of time. And that ending, it didn't just break hearts, it shattered them. His final scene, goosebumps, tears, silence. He delivered it like a man carrying the weight of 100 lifetimes of love and loss. It wasn't just acting, it was pure, soul-wrenching art. Deu proved in Century of Love that he's not just a pretty face in the BL world. He's a powerhouse, a storyteller, and an emotional force to be reckoned with. This was his moment, and he claimed it with everything he had. For War Wanarat, his best drama, Jack and Joker. War Wanarat didn't just act in Jack and Joker. He breathed life into a character that was both tragically broken and dangerously beautiful. In this gritty, emotionally explosive drama, War delivered what can only be described as a masterclass in duality. He portrayed Joker, a street-smart con artist with a haunted past, whose outward confidence masked years of abandonment, betrayal, and inner torment. From the very first episode, War's eyes spoke volumes, raw pain, bottled-up rage, and fleeting moments of fragile hope. His every expression was layered, a crooked smile hiding a breaking heart, a teasing laugh concealing scars that hadn't yet healed. You couldn't look away. He commanded every frame with an unsettling mix of charm and chaos. What made his performance truly unforgettable was how real it felt. When Joker lashed out in frustration, you felt it in your chest. When he broke down shaking, breath hitching, eyes brimming with uncried tears, it wasn't just acting. It was a gut punch. War didn't play Joker, he became him. And when it came to the romance between Jack and Joker, the tension was electric. War made every glance, every touch, every fight and stolen moment burn with emotional intensity. The chemistry between the leads was sizzling, but it was War's vulnerability, his ability to switch from reckless bravado to trembling honesty. That made the relationship so heart-wrenchingly real. The rooftop scene, iconic. Joker's desperate monologue, the rain pouring like the heavens were weeping with him, his voice cracking as he screamed, "I never wanted to be saved. I just wanted someone to stay." That scene alone deserves an award, or 10. War Wanarat gave us pain, passion, and poetry. He gave us a man on the edge, dancing between light and darkness, and we believed every second. Jack and Joker isn't just his best drama. It's a haunting reminder of how devastatingly beautiful War's acting can be when he's given a role that challenges him emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. He owned this role, and will never forget it. 5. William Jakrapat, his best drama, Thame Po. If we're talking about raw, haunting, unforgettable talent, William Jakrapat in Thame Po is the definition of an actor unafraid to bleed for his art. From the moment he first appears on screen, there's a chilling quiet to him. Not empty, loaded. Every look he gives, every subtle twitch of his lips, every flicker in his eyes carries weight. He doesn't act. He becomes. He sinks so deep into his character, you start to forget you're watching a performance. It's like watching a wound slowly split open in front of you and you can't look away. In Thame Po, William plays a character consumed by grief, love, and the constant battle between wanting to forget and needing to remember. There's a kind of poetic tragedy in how he walks through the world, eyes heavy, voice trembling under restraint, yet he never fully breaks until he does. And when he does, it shatters you. The emotional breakdown scene, where he finally confesses everything he's held inside, the guilt, the longing, the pain was nothing short of breathtaking. His voice cracked, and it wasn't just acting. It was soul-breaking vulnerability. You could feel the pain in his bones. His performance didn't ask for your sympathy. It dragged you into the fire with him. What makes Williams' acting in Thame Po even more gripping is how much he doesn't say. He's a master of silence, of stares that last too long, of holding tears back until they burn. His chemistry with his co-star wasn't loud or playful. It was slow-burning, torturously restrained, and achingly real. You could feel the weight of every almost touch, every interrupted word, like something fragile being crushed under the gravity of emotions neither character knew how to name. There's an elegance in his pain, a storm behind his calm, and when that storm finally hits, it feels like the whole world cracks. William Jakrapat in Thame Po didn't just act. He bared a soul, ripped it open, and left us trembling in the aftermath. An unforgettable performance, a career-defining masterpiece, a name that will echo for a long time in Thai BL history. 6. Boss Chaikamon, his best drama, Love in the Air. Boss Chaikamon exuded a quiet storm of passion and pain and love in the air. His portrayal of Peu, the confident, stoic biker with a dangerously soft heart, was nothing short of magnetic. Boss didn't just play a character. He became the storm before the calm, the thunder before the rain. His performance was subtle but layered with unspoken emotions, an intensity that simmered just beneath his controlled exterior. From the very first moment he appeared on screen, with his sharp eyes and grounded demeanor, he pulled us in. He made Peu mysterious yet grounded, dominant but never devoid of empathy. You could feel the weight of his emotions in every lingering gaze, every slow stride, every word laced with authority and underlying tenderness. Boss didn't need to scream or cry to convey depth. His silence spoke volumes, and when he finally let the emotions spill, it was like a dam breaking. His chemistry with Noel Rain was explosive, like fire meeting gasoline. What made it even more powerful was the contrast. Where Rain was chaotic, impulsive, and emotionally raw, Peu Boss was composed, deliberate, and emotionally restrained. That tension, the push and pull, was so visceral that it blurred the line between fiction and reality. You didn't just watch Peu fall for Rain, you felt it in your bones. One of Boss's most unforgettable scenes was when Peu dropped his armor and let his vulnerabilities bleed through. No pretense, no mask, just a man caught between control and surrender. The tremble in his voice, the flicker in his eyes. It was heartbreaking and beautiful. That's the mark of a true actor, making you believe in love, pain, guilt, and longing all at once. What makes Boss's performance in Love in the Air truly iconic is that he balanced dominance and sensitivity with such nuance. He never reduced Peu to a one-dimensional alpha character. He gave him depth, softness, and soul. Every scene felt like a slow-burning fuse leading to emotional detonation, and when it exploded, it was art. Boss Chaikamon in Love in the Air wasn't just acting. He was inviting us into the storm of Peu's world. And once you stepped in, there was no turning back. 7. Yin Anan, his best drama, Jack and Joker. Yin Anan delivered one of the most emotionally charged, soul-shaking performances of his career in Jack and Joker, a series that didn't just test his range as an actor, but ripped him open and laid his rawest self bare for the world to witness. This wasn't your typical love story. This was a slow descent into chaos, betrayal, passion, and redemption, and Yin stood at the heart of it like a man holding a burning match in a room full of gasoline. He portrayed Jack, a man haunted by his past, hunted by his own mistakes, and ultimately entrapped by a love so reckless it bordered on destruction. Jack wasn't a hero. He was a deeply flawed, broken, aching human being, and Yin breathed every ounce of that pain into the role. From the very first episode, Yin's eyes told a story his lips couldn't. There was a weight behind his silence, a storm behind his smirks. He mastered the art of stillness, those long stares, the clenched jaw, the way he'd swallow down his words like they might kill him if spoken. You could feel the conflict eating him alive. The guilt, the fear, the craving for love he didn't think he deserved. And then came the scenes with Wanarat as Joker. Electric, volatile, intoxicating. Their chemistry was dangerous, not soft and sweet, but sharp and serrated, like kissing someone who might stab you in the back or worse, in the heart. Jack and Joker weren't built on gentle touches and whispered promises. They were fire and gasoline, constantly testing how far they could push before it all burned down. There was a scene, unforgettable, where Jack breaks, truly breaks. He's on the floor, fists clenched, breathing heavy, and for the first time his armor completely shatters. Yin screamed without screaming. His body told the story. His voice cracked, not in pitch but in truth. It was like watching a man unravel in real time, and it hurt. It hurt to see someone so in control crumble that way. But that's what made it real. That's what made it art. And yet, amidst the chaos, Yin gave Jack slivers of tenderness. Fleeting moments where love pierced through the noise. The way he looked at Joker when he thought he wasn't being watched. The soft touches after a fight. The desperation behind every stay that really meant don't give up on me yet. Yin Anan didn't just act in Jack and Joker. He bled. He gave a performance that will haunt anyone who's ever loved too recklessly, lost too much, or believed they were too broken to be saved. This was his masterpiece, his most explosive, vulnerable, and unforgettable role to date. And once you've seen Yin as Jack, you'll never look at him the same again. 8. Boat Yongyut. His best drama, My Stubborn. In My Stubborn, Boat Yongyut doesn't just act. He devours every scene he's in. This role wasn't just another romantic drama, it was a gut punch of raw emotions, a battlefield of pride, heartbreak, and redemption. And Boat? He stood at the epicenter like a ticking emotional bomb, ready to explode at any moment. From the very first episode, Boat delivers a masterclass in restrained chaos. His character, proud to a fault, wounded by love yet unwilling to yield, walks the razor-thin line between tenderness and fury. You could feel the war inside him, his eyes glistening with tears he refused to let fall, his jaw clenched to hold back words he was dying to say. One of the most heart-shattering scenes was when his love interest finally gives up on him. Boat doesn't say a word for almost a full minute, but his silence screams louder than any monologue. His entire body shakes with the effort of holding in the collapse, his breath catching, his lips trembling, and those eyes, those damn eyes that looked like they were begging for one last chance without even saying it. Boat doesn't go for over-the-top theatrics. He gives us something real, something dangerous, something that hurts. Every glance, every pause, every unspoken word between clenched teeth was soaked in regret, guilt, and unspoken love. He didn't play the character, he became him. My Stubborn gave Boat the perfect storm. A stubborn, emotionally complex man torn apart by ego and vulnerability. And Boat didn't just ride the storm, he became the storm. By the end of the series, when he finally breaks completely, irreversibly breaks, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll feel like you lived through that heartbreak with him. You'll ache for him, scream at him, root for him, and whether you like it or not, you'll understand him. This wasn't just Boat's best performance, it was a raw, unforgettable metamorphosis. He burned through the screen with fiery intensity and left behind ashes of a love story too stubborn to die quietly. A performance that haunts you. Boat Yongyut owned this role. 9. Ponlawit. His best drama, Reset the Series. In Reset the Series, Ponlawit delivers a performance so raw, so emotionally charged, and so painfully real, it feels like you're watching someone live through hell in real time. He doesn't just act, he bleeds on screen. His portrayal is a masterclass in quiet suffering, emotional deterioration, and the desperate search for meaning in a world that keeps tearing everything away. Pon's character is stuck in a brutal, unforgiving time loop, forced to relive a pivotal day over and over again. But this isn't just a sci-fi gimmick, it's a prison. And Pond plays it with a haunting intensity. Every loop, every repeated tragedy leaves another invisible scar. You can literally see the hope drain from his eyes as the series progresses, until what's left is a man on the brink, fragile, frantic, and fighting against the inevitable. There's one unforgettable scene. He's standing in the middle of the street, drenched in rain, eyes red and hollow. He whispers a name barely audible and then crumples to his knees like the world just swallowed him whole. No music, no dialogue, just pain, pure, suffocating pain. And Pond, he holds nothing back. His grief is not cinematic, it's messy, trembling, desperate, and so real it hits like a gut punch. What makes this performance unforgettable is how much Pond does with so little. He doesn't rely on dramatic outbursts. His power lies in the smallest movements. A tightening jaw, a flinch when a familiar line is repeated, a flicker of recognition in his eyes that says, "Not again, please, not again." He takes you into the mind of a man slowly losing his sanity, and you feel every second of it. But amidst the torment, Pond gives us glimpses of love, quiet, aching love. A love he tries to protect again and again, even when he knows the ending won't change. And that's where his performance truly destroys you, because even when he's broken, even when he knows the cost, he still tries, still hopes, still fights. The chemistry he shares with his co-star is full of restraint and longing, like two souls reaching for each other in the dark, terrified they won't have enough time. And that's exactly what Pond captures. The desperation to hold on to something beautiful in a world that keeps resetting, keeps erasing, keeps hurting. By the final episode, Pond's character is no longer the same man. And neither are you. Because watching him suffer, struggle, hope, and fall apart again and again changes you. Ponlawit didn't just play a character. He embodied the cruelty of fate, the ache of memory, and the resilience of love. Reset the Series is Pond's breakthrough, a performance that digs into your chest and doesn't let go. He didn't act it. He survived it. 10. Zee Pruk Panish. His best drama, Cutie Pie the Series. Zee Pruk Panish didn't just act in Cutie Pie the Series, he owned it. From the very first frame, Zee as Lion Wang exuded power, magnetism, and emotional control like a seasoned maestro conducting a symphony of love, dominance, and vulnerability. Lion wasn't just a character, he was an enigma cloaked in suits, silence, and secrets. And Zee embodied every inch of him with chilling precision and smoldering restraint. What made his performance so unforgettable wasn't just the outer image, it was the emotional war zone raging behind Lion's stoic eyes. Every quiet stare, every restrained touch, every soft-spoken word carried weight. Zee knew how to make silence speak louder than words. And when the walls finally cracked, when Lion's calm exterior trembled under the weight of love, longing, and fear of loss, Zee delivered emotional breakdowns, so raw and intense that it felt like the world stopped turning. His chemistry with Nunu Chawarin was not just convincing, it was electrifying. Every scene between them crackled with tension, whether it was a gaze across a dinner table or a heart-stopping confession whispered in the dark. Zee's commanding aura contrasted perfectly with Nunu's innocence, making their dynamic feel like a collision between fire and silk, volatile, soft, and dangerously addictive. What made Cutie Pie such a game-changer was that Zee didn't just play a romantic lead, he redefined what one could be. He wasn't the typical cold, rich guy trope. He was layered, aching, and real. His portrayal made us question, can control be a form of protection? Can love survive when you're scared to lose control? Zee gave us a performance that stung, soothed, and seduced, sometimes all in the same scene. Cutie Pie wasn't just a rom-com. It was a battlefield of hearts, and Zee Pruk Panish was the soldier who bled in silence, loved in shadows, and ultimately stood victorious not just in the story, but in our hearts. A true king of emotional subtlety and romantic intensity. And there you have it, my top 10 Thai BL actors, and the dramas where they didn't just perform, they transcended. These men gave us love stories we'll never forget, characters that lived in our bones, and moments that will echo in BL history forever. But this list isn't just about acting, it's about passion, pain, chemistry, and those quiet glances that said everything without a single word. It's about the way they made us feel seen, understood, and completely captivated. If these actors touched your heart like they did mine, then you know this genre is more than just stories. It's a movement, a force, and these stars, they're the heartbeat. Don't forget to like, comment, and tell me your favorite Thai BL actors and their best roles. I want to hear what made you cry, scream, and fall in love. And if you thought this was intense, just wait. I'm only getting started. Subscribe, because the next deep dive might just shake your soul. Until next time, keep loving boldly, watching fiercely, and never let anyone dim your shine.